So moving on the show now, let's talk about another interesting talking point. This regarding former Super Eagles international Segun Odegbami.
Green Eagles.
Yeah, former Green Eagles Segun Odegbami, and Flamingos. They did so well at the Under 17 World Cup that recently concluded in India. They came out with the bronze medal, and cash gift, monetary rewards have been promised for these girls. Ahmed Musa being on top of it, gave them I think 3 million naira. I think he fulfilled that when they landed at the airport. I saw them taking a picture with the check.
Dummy check.
Yeah, dummy check that they held. And Ahmed Musa, of course, is known for that as well. He does that very well. And Segun Odegbami came out with an interesting perspective. I don't know. Do you agree with mathematical? This is what he said. Speaking on Port Parliament on NTA, said there's something else much more important than money currently in the career of the players. What is more important to these girls should be their education. At their age, they should be in school and then play football as well. If really they are 17 years old, then money shouldn't be the priority now. I would like to see the government offer them scholarships. Now, this has sparked a whole lot of debate. I don't know what you make of this. Do you think scholarships should be what? I mean, they are 17 years old. Do you think scholarships should be what they should focus on, and money shouldn't be their priority now?
Segun Odegbami got it all wrong there. First off, how many people do we give scholarship to in Nigeria? Is Nigeria a country that keeps promises? No. If Nigeria, let's say this government give them scholarship, and then the next government comes and tell you that the price of the dollar have dropped, one thing is happening, we're paying back the debts that we're owing China, so that China does not come and recolonize Nigeria, we cannot meet those promises. What do? We're not going to honor them. We've also seen history repeat itself in Nigeria. 1985 is a group of young boys went to China to go and play the Coca-Cola Kodak Under 17 World Cup and won it for the very first time. They came back, they were made promises. It took up to 2017 before those promises were redeemed. Even Fatah Ataya was angry when he was invited to come from the US to come and collect 2 million. He wasn't happy about it because it didn't make sense. He felt like if they promised them that money in 1985 and it's got to 2017, they should pay them with interest. But that didn't happen. Okay, we've seen the 1994 Super Eagles who won the African Cup of Nations for the very first time outside of this country, second time for Nigeria in history, and also qualifying for the World Cup. They were promised houses. We didn't get to see the houses redeemed even up to today. Recently, I was with Mutia Adepoju sometime in a La Liga event at the Landmark Beach, and I remember somebody calling him that somebody's already staying in the house that they promised him in Abuja. Okay, so we've seen all of this coming, and at the end of the day, nobody would even fight for the players. So it's not a conversation that says, oh, give them scholarship. Let's look at the players that we took to India. How many of them are academically viable? Is Segun Odegbami going to manufacture school resort for them to continue with the scholarship? Is Segun Odegbami going to all of a sudden open up their brain? Why is Segun Odegbami sounding like he's not spent all his life hanging around footballers? How many footballers are really educated? I'm a graduate. Segun Odegbami is a graduate. Aduke Amesimaka is a graduate. What's it called? P. Victor Ezeji is a graduate. Sheyola Fejana is a graduate. Son Olise eventually become a graduate. How many? If we've had 1 million footballers since 1945 up to today, we don't have up to 8,000 that are graduate that even finish secondary school in the first place. So when you talk about money, look at the economic situation of Nigeria today. Are you saying that if they give them the money, they are the ones that are going to spend it? Or if you give them the money, it's their parents, or their parents not good enough to earn that money? When we talk about standard situation, if you give a standard opinion in cases like this, you should understand that you have a platform. Segun Odegbami have a platform that is very, very super in sports, and if he says the team, everybody will say because Segun Odegbami said it, this is how it should be done. It's an elder statement. It's a gatekeeper when it comes to football or sports in Nigeria. But let's not forget, he collected money from a lot of states, a lot of government officials to set up Wasimi for many years ago. We've not seen the product of Wasimi since that time. Okay, so that Wasimi project promised a whole lot. When Wasimi started, I have not been in sports media. I've been in sports media almost 20 years now. I've not seen anybody come out of Wasimi project. So we're not asking him question about that. These are not the way they should be. It doesn't mean that Odegbami didn't have a good plan with Wasimi, but the country, Nigeria will happen to you, and your great plan to be like Elon Musk will end up turning you to a cab driver. So when you say don't give them money, are you saying that if these girls are given, let's say 1 million, or 2 or 5 million, and they take it to their family. You're saying that their family does not need this money right now in this economic situation that we face ourselves. Let's not forget again that today Nigeria, we are all on survival mode. Take what's it called? Benedict that is with us. He's just lost his father a few months ago. How many months ago now did you lose your father?
That was in April, like 4 months ago.
4 months ago, he just lost the father. So you're telling me now that this boy, as he is now, if he does something and somebody shows up and say, oh, I want to reward you with 10 million, you should not give him the 10 million. Do you know what 10 million? Not only will 10 million improve his life and push his education forward, it would also improve the life of his younger ones and set up his mother in business. So when we say this thing, we should think. Some of these players, and if Shegun Odebami is pretending that a 17-year-old is not a breadwinner in their family, then Shegun Odebami is living in a delusional world that he should come down from that place that he belongs. Because I was a breadwinner when I was 9. When I got admission into University of Port Harcourt, people expect that you will send people home to give you money. I was sending money from Port Harcourt, sending food stuff and the rest. I was cutting plantain that I did not plant to send home to my parents so that they would survive. So Shegun Odebami should not come up with this high standard. How many of the footballers in that team are educated? How many of them have their WAEC or their school cert? Who even told him that all of them wants to go to school? And then where again in the world is that in practice? That's something that used to happen back in the day when Nigerian economy was good, in the Shagari days and the Olusegun Obasanjo days. When was the last time we gave anybody scholarship for excelling in sports in Nigeria? When was the last time? Because that was the original idea of Wasimi, that sports people, when you show good sports talent, then you will not get scholarship and go and train in the US. How many Nigerians now want to go to US for sports? How many? Especially football. When there is Europe, you take one Nigerian want to go and play football in Europe, in US, because of education. By the way, how many education does Ahmed Musa have? Did he not play under 17 and under 20? How many degrees does Jude Igalo have? Would what's it called? Shegun Odebami not invite Ode Igalo and Ahmed Musa way ahead of the first class graduate of any university from Nigeria? Okay, let's even say they give them scholarship. Scholarship to where? Will the Nigerian government give scholarship to any of the foreign universities? No. Will the Nigerian government give any scholarship to any of the private universities? No. Nigerian government will give you scholarship to Nigerian university, right? Let's take it from there. Like, hypothetically, let's even go with Shegun Odebami. Let's follow this his noble idea. They would give them admission scholarship to Nigerian university that will go on strike for 1 year. And then you forget whether you ever were in school. By the time you go back to school, they will forget whether they know you. Is that the scholarship they want to give? Or they give them scholarship. This same government will go, then the next government will come and say, I know you not. And then the conversation will end. Because in Nigeria, we don't do continuity. So if, let's say hypothetically, APC goes and Labour Party comes in or PDP comes in, they will say everything goes with APC, all of those things were corruption. A country that when we give amnesty to militants and give billions in contract to militants, nobody complains. A country where we call Boko Haram and bandits and the rest, and then we rehabilitate them and give them amnesty and give them money, nobody complains. Now the only ones that put our image in good light, first off, you question their age, because I guess Shegun Odebami was there when they gave birth to all of them, because I don't understand where the word, the line, the phrase, if they are 17. So we're saying that in this country, 17-year-old people don't get. Listen, my 3 children, when they were born, they already have bank account at maximum 3 months. So people pay money into their account. People, I like Rookie, send me an account, let me send money. They pay money into their account that I cannot even access. So if these children, they are, you ask him if they are 17. So we need to verify their age to give them money. 17-year-old people don't get money. 17-year-old, 15-year-old people are building tech out there in the world, are building apps that are producing money. So if Shegun Odebami is still living in the caveman era, somebody should remind him that time have passed. We're no longer in that era anymore where you say if you are 17 you should be given scholarship. People are building high-tech applications that are solving problem at a younger age, 12 years, 15 years, 13 years. Some younger than that are even doing it. So they need money to do it. These kids needs money. Nigeria right now, every Nigerian family is on survival mode. Shegun Odebami will not tell me that he doesn't get people sending him messages on his DM every single day or SMS every single day asking for 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Before we started this show, I just told you about how people send for me every day. And I also ask people, I'm not going to sit on the high. I also ask people like the Alibabas of this world and the rest of them. I ask a lot of people, like, I need help, I need support, I need push. push and all that. But you shouldn't tell me, I have a 10-year-old son, I have an 8-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son. Are you telling me now that if my son does well in school, and they now say, oh, for this thing that you've done, oh, the cash prize is 10 million. We're not gonna, no, we don't need the 10 million. Oh. The way Shagodegwami said it, let's convert it to scholarship. And then in 5 years' time, that money is not available again. What happens? It doesn't make sense. Now, the conversation, what really beats me with this conversation is, instead of celebrating the success of the girls now, we're not making it look like the girls are holding us to ransom, demanding for money. Well, something that they did not do. Where did the conversation of rewarding them in the first place come in? And you know the funny thing with Nigeria? In Nigeria, when something wants to benefit the rich, we do it and then we discuss it. When something wants to benefit the poor, we discuss it and we end up not doing it. If a law is put that benefits the rich, they could just apply them. Everything. So they want to give bonus. They want to give $100,000 to delegates that are going to vote, nominate the presidential candidate of each party. We don't discuss it. We get the after conversation. After the thing has happened, then we start having a conversation around it. Once people get a wind that they might reward this under 17 girls who let sleeping dog lie. Nigeria has been rewarding people for doing absolutely nothing. We've been paying thugs to go from motopark boys to decide to become kings in Oshodi and other parts of this country. We've been spending those money that we don't have. Why is it that just for once, when they want to reward the children of the poor, that is when it becomes a parliamentary discussion in NTA, in absolute NTA? They were doing, I don't know, people still watch it. Did you find that people still watch NTA? Absolutely. They're doing the premiere of Wakanda Forever.
I saw that.
And NTA staff was asking a big character in the movie, what's your name?
You saw that, yeah? You saw that video.
I'm dead.
You understand? Like people that my kids, my 3-year-old son know, people that my 8-year-old daughter know. Putting a microphone with NTA logo in front of them, they ask us, so people still watch NTA.
They hardly ask them.
I don't understand. How do you ask such a big celebrity to come to Nigeria? That kind of question. That's the kind of things that NTA produce. NTA gives you things that are shitty, and then we're discussing whether they should give people who want to win bronze medal cash reward or not. First off, did the children ask for the reward? Did they make a demand, a ransom demand that, if you not give us, so we're not going to enter Nigeria? Is that what they said? Did they say so? So why are we trying to rubbish the guests?
So
why are we trying to rubbish their effort?
So in essence,
Shagodegwami should keep his opinion to himself.
Is it that the opinion isn't good, or it's just the situation we find ourselves in this country?
The opinion is not good. When you live in Rome, you do as the Romans do. If we live in a country where, that's the norm, where they give scholarship and the rest, then I can understand. But when you live in a country like Nigeria, everybody's in survival mode. When somebody falls inside water and you're trying to raise it, that's not what you ask him, how did you fall? What were you doing by the side of the river bank? No, you save them first. You don't go and ask all those sick questions, because sometimes these questions are very, very annoying. When England won the under-17 in 2017, how many of them were given scholarship? Some of those players today don't have a club. They are just there.
True. Yeah.
But you know why? Their government support them. You know why most Nigerians are jackpying? They're not jackpying because they want to jackpy. I know a lot of Nigerians who say, these 2 children I get, they don't do. But once they go abroad, they go have 1 child. You know why? The support that comes from government. Why is government giving all those children support? Why don't Shagodegwami go to Dubai and say, no, it is wrong to give free medical care to people in this country. It is wrong to give somebody who graduates from university money to buy land. It is wrong to give somebody 20,000 dirham to $20,000 to marry when you are a graduate. It is wrong. Why don't you go there? Those are ideal country. Those are standard to follow. Not like of a country where we're suffering like this. Are you kidding me? People suffering enough, and you're telling me that they shouldn't be giving money. What kind of talk is that one? And then when you talk, some people jump out of nowhere. He's a senior man. Senior man where? Buhari not senior all of us. Tinubu not senior all of us. Emiloko not senior all of us. We know they criticize him. If Shagodegwami is wrong, he's wrong. Because na senior man, the ball will play. Yes, thank you for playing football. That's the reason why they respect his platform. But this opinion when he brings so, now wrong opinion, make it keep it to himself. When you raise the children, make you give them those scholarship.